Reports are coming out. Dame Dash has filed for bankruptcy while facing over 25 million in debt tied to unpaid taxes. That's such a big number, man. Dame Dash has filed for bankruptcy, yada, yada, yada. A notice of bankruptcy stay was filed in the Southern District of New York court, confirming that Dame Dash for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in the bankruptcy court for the Middle District of Florida. The Roc-A-Fella Records co-founder reportedly has no income and just $4,350 of personal property. His belongings include a $500 cell phone, $2,500 in jewelry, clothing, 2 firearms, and $100 in cash. $5,200 is a total of his monthly expenses. Dame apparently has over 25 million in debt, including back taxes, 8.7 million owed to New York State. Taxes is what the Uncle Sam is one thing you just can't get around, man. You just can't get around that, man. They will come and take your crib. They will auction off all your furniture, everything, you know, and the IRS. And then you got a 9.65 million to New York State Department of Taxation and Finance, 5.79 million to Los Angeles County, and 3.5 million to the New Jersey Division of Taxation. As I'm reading this, I got some things I feel about this here, man. So some of the reports that we did this year, the people that he owes and he lost civil suits to, that's one thing. Let's say he's lawyering up. He feels like, hey, this violation of the script is really my script. They won. They had better presentation in court, or he didn't show up, or whatever. You know, you can look at that stuff however you want to look at it. The taxes is, where do you go other than just saying irresponsible? How do I look at the taxes any other way than irresponsible? And we're seeing different states, which is like, I'm not saying allegedly he's bouncing around to try to get away from his taxes, but to build up 8.7 million in New York State, and it could be because you just have properties and mailing addresses in these different places and you're paying tax. I don't know. You're earning money out of these states and you have properties and assets or whatever in these states. So it could be that. I'm not trying to say you're doing a race, but New York State, 965, right? Los Angeles, 579. New Jersey, 35. All this shit totaling up, though, he's got over 25 million in debt when it comes to like taxes. Just taxes, not your civil suits. You cannot make money and think Uncle Sam doesn't want their piece. That's just, y'all, we could play all these different games in the streets that y'all want to play to try to get ahead. I understand life ain't easy, man, but don't play with your taxes, people. If you're making money, put some money aside, understanding that them people are coming. I did that with Max Out, and I had to sit down. Max Out Part 1. Hitman and Cassidy did so well. I had to sit down on a conference call with people from RBE and show them how much money I was putting to the side just for that wasn't going to be divided up into the payout into the team, because it was a big ass fucking number. And it was just like, wait a minute, this big piece right here, ARP, what you doing with that? Hold on. When it's time to we're doing Max Out here and like whatever, top of the year, all of this is going to get reported. Rap Grid is going to report a 1099 on RBE for the amount of money that this shit is making on YouTube, just the card itself. Just, you know what I'm saying? And then the whole rest of the year on YouTube. Quarter Lab is sending a 1099 reporting the pay-per-view sales and the VOD sales. PayPal is sending reports and metrics to IRS related to the RBE business account as well. It's not even, you can't hide this shit, because if they don't report it, then Uncle Sam asks them for the money. And they got to say, no, I didn't keep this $10. I paid this to RBE because that was their revenue net profit from their pay-per-view sale as our client for that pay-per-view event. They got to show it. So then it's not no snitching or nothing like that. They got to report it, which means I got to report it. There's no way around this shit, you know? I had to put that big ass piece of money to the side, knowing that no, we're not going to go spend all this money and be like, yo, Max Out, man, that face off really went crazy, huh? And then when it's time to file your taxes, it's like, huh? No, they want their piece, B. You got to do it. It's part of being responsible. You got to do it. To build up that much back taxes in that many states, you got nowhere to look but in the mirror, you know? Now, I will say, I'm not going to pull up the definition of Chapter 7 because there's different levels of bankruptcy that you could file. I forget the details of Chapter 7. But sometimes people file bankruptcy merely to protect the assets that they have. But him going on the record here and saying his belongings is 500 for a phone or what, all this shit totaling only to $5,200. So I don't believe that, right? Um, I think we saw from the interview that he did when he had the red bandana around his face and all that. He's talking about the family office. He's been dealing with this stuff for years. So what he's been doing is trying to find ways to himself not be, I guess, shown to have certain assets or money. And I think we read some paperwork that showed they even went after his wife. Like, no, 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 no. You're not going to put this business or this company or Dame Dash Film Studio, hypothetically, like allegedly, in your wife's name, and then you get away with it. No, we saw his wife come up in some of that past paperwork, right? So him get these reports getting to $5,200. I think this is the type of stuff that's been getting him in trouble. You're not trying to show some of your earnings, maybe because you want people to believe that you don't have it. And I don't think he has anywhere near to what he used to have, but he damn sure got more than $5,200. Come on, people. It's Dame Dash. Because he's got somewhere in his house one watch that costs more than that, one chain, one bracelet that costs more than that. All right. There's no fucking way he's got only $2,500 in jewelry, because that means if you have one ring, one watch, or one bracelet, or one chain, they're fake then. Right? He's probably got more than $5,200 in these earrings right here in this fucking in this picture. So I'm giving him way more credit than that. But at the same time, you get in trouble for that type of shit. So if he's going through this elaborate plan and the family office, all these things of trying to hide businesses and hide money, I could sit down here live and see through some of that shit. What do you think them people that want this whole $25 million in back taxes, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to subpoena. They're going to do warrants. They're going to try to get bank account information. Didn't we see that reported too? He wasn't, in one of his civil suits, allegedly, he wasn't turning over his bank account information. Why? Because he just didn't want people to see the money that was there, allegedly. If I could look into this shit just by pulling this article up and then using my brain, then people's gonna be on your heels, and they probably have been all these years. 25 million. Who the fuck don't want that? Yeah. I could lighten the news a little bit for Dame. In other Dame news, I didn't see this as a part of the full segment that dropped when we said, "Yo, he kind of ethered Cam," but this is funny too. That dropped this piece.
I saw Snoop Dogg on your show, and he said, "What's my motherfucking name?" And you sang the girl part. You said, "Pause." Snoop Doggy Dog.
And I
If
am
no
here
one
to
cheers
slim
you
with the
around you,
tilted brim. What's my motherfucking name?
Snoop Doggy Dog.
if no one cheers you around you for that, then that's like normal shit. And if you get mad at the jokes, that's not fair, bro. Stay Harlem about it. If you want to do shit like that, let niggas laugh.
Yo, if you gonna do shit like that, Dave. So that was hilarious.
I saw
That was hilarious. To put that on Cam, that little shot right there. But Dame, one thing that we see through as well is you're not gonna use some of this stuff as a scapegoat. Y'all don't fuck with each other, and exposing somebody is exposing somebody, ranking on somebody, making them look like a bad person, a shitty person, a scary person, a pussy, whatever, all the type of things that he's been doing. Like in that last joint where he was like, yo, you're non-confrontational. And remember, you didn't even want to talk to me about that dude that punched you in your face. You can't then hide behind, oh, keep it Harlem. We're just joking. No, it's not a joke. You're on the internet telling all my fans about, how I showed up to this movie set, or how I did you wrong, or how I tucked some money, or how I ran my mouth about the Roc-A-Fella presidency conversation, which makes me the beginning of the Roc-A-Fella breakup. People could take issue with me for that. So you can't hide behind it's just jokes, Dame. All right. And this is why it is what it is when Cam slaps you back. It is what it is. And look at that. That was a bar on accident. It is what it is for real. All right. I got two more for y'all.